Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about women will care when you don't. So the problem that I see with a lot of guys, especially very young guys, is that they're very concerned with the outcome. They're very concerned with when they start dating a woman, I need to get into a relationship or I need to get into her underwear, right? They're very focused on the outcome, trying to get something out of this situation, trying to figure out how can I make this girl my girlfriend? How can I make intimacy happen faster? How can I get her to make out with me? When in reality, women care more and start to like you more when you care less about those things. So the attitude you should have then when you go out on dates with women is, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Because you know what? I may go out on a date and I may not like her very much. Or I may go out on a date with a woman and maybe I just want to be her friend because maybe I'm not attracted to her, but maybe she's actually a really cool person who I would really like to have in my life. Or maybe I'm just going to focus on having a great conversation and getting to know another human being and seeing what unfolds. Right? You got to see it as like a mystery. But a lot of guys, like I said, especially young guys, have an outcome already in their head of like trying to get into bed with her, trying to make her your girlfriend. And they become very inwardly focused of like worrying about how they're coming across and trying to say the right things to try and get her into bed or to try and manipulate her into getting into a relationship. It's all about just letting go, right? And letting go of that outcome and not being attached to it. Because that is really where the magic lies, right? You will get more girls to want to go out with you and want to spend more time with you by caring less and caring more about getting to know her, seeing where things go, than you would ever by trying to figure out like little pickup lines or trying to behave in certain ways to get her to be in a relationship with you. So it's almost like the more you try and the more harder you try to impress her, the less likely she is actually going to want to be with you. Whereas if you just show up and you are just enjoying yourself and having a good time and you're enjoying getting to know her and you're not attached to what happens at the end of the night, you don't care if you don't see her again because you've got, there's other options. There's always going to be other options for you anyway. If you don't mind and you're okay and everything's cool, and you act like that, then you're more likely going to get another date from that woman and you're more likely going to actually end up eventually into a relationship with her. So you got to be focused more on getting to know her rather than focusing on the other things that I've listed. So how do you do this then? So how can you sort of start developing this? So first of all, you've got to try and eradicate that desperate and needy behavior that you may have. You got to try and get rid of that. In some way, you must be sort of insecure or you're putting women on pedestals. So that's one of the things that you've got to realize. You've got to realize that women are just flawed human beings like men are, like how you are. Don't think that she's going to be too good for you or she's less than you, because that's, you can go the other way as well. She's just another human being. She's going to have flaws. She's going to have idiosyncrasies. She's going to have things about her that you do like. She's going to have things about her that you don't like. And she's going to feel pretty much the same way about you. And what you got to realize as well is that if you have the attitude of, I'm just going to see how things go on this day. I'm just going to have an enjoyable conversation. I'm going to get to know her. I'm going to I'm going to have fun myself as well. I'm just going to have a good time. She's probably focusing on the same thing too. She's probably got the idea of, I'm just going to see how things go. She's not got an outcome in mind. She just wants to get to know you. So if there is any kind of outcome, that is the only outcome that she has. She just wants to know if you're a good fit for her, if you're a nice guy, if you're a guy that she wants to date. Do you make her feel safe and comfortable? Right? She's going to be wanting to know that. She's going to be wanting to know those things. She isn't going to care so much about I want to get him into a relationship with me, or I want him to get him to sleep with me. She's not going to be thinking about those things. She's going to be thinking out, I'm going to find out if this person is good for me. And that's what you should be doing as well. You've got to apply the same attitude that women have towards men when they go on dates to the women that you go out on dates with. You see? So it's not so much that you don't care about women and you're horrible and you're mean to them and you're cold and you're mean and you say, it's not about that. It's not like you don't care, as in I don't care about women, they're dirt on my shoe. It's more about, I don't care if this doesn't lead to anything. I'm just trying to find out if this is a good fit. And if it's not, then I'm just going to move on to the next woman because I want to find a girlfriend eventually. So I'm just, when I go out on a date, I'm just focusing on finding out who this woman is. I'm not focused on anything else other than having a fun experience with her and finding out who she is. And if I make a good friend, great. If I find a girlfriend potential, great. If I don't, that's great as well. If you part ways and you say to her, I had a great evening, good luck with your dating, that's a good way to let someone down, basically, gently, then that's great. It's great. And if things don't work out, you didn't waste your time with that woman, because if you're talking to her and you're finding out things about her, you're not wasting your time because you're actually improving your social skills. So think of it as like, okay, so even if I'm, I don't get anything out of this interaction, at least I was able to develop my social skills and I got even better at talking to women and understanding them. And if you kind of treat it a little bit like an experiment like that, then you're going to come across as less detached from the outcome anyway, because you're focusing on getting better at communicating and getting better at your skills. So, like I said, it's not so much about not caring about women. It's about caring about the outcome. That is the most crucial thing here. Because women can usually sense if you're trying to rush them into sleeping with you or you're trying to rush them to get into a relationship with you. They can sense your eagerness, they can sense your neediness. And women, especially really beautiful women, right, they have a lot of guys in their DMs trying to get their attention, who are outcome focused, who are trying to lock her down into a relationship, who are trying to sleep with her. She's more likely going to pick the guy who is unaffected by her looks, who is just more laid back. So the whole art and the whole essence of not caring so much is all about this attitude of, I'm just going to see where things go. I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm just going to have a good time and find out who she is. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, that's also great. So that is the attitude that you've got to have. So it's not so much that you don't care about women, okay? It's about having this laid back attitude and becoming unattached. So thank you so much for watching. If you would like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christinelovage.com and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.